So I woke up starving, like super hungry. So I'm eating ramen. It's the light. I just noticed one of my lights is out, so it's like super dark in here. So I was actually gonna make this video yesterday. Hang on, let me see if I can move it. Okay, I was gonna make this video yesterday, and it was gonna be about my grandmother. She was. You think I'm loquita? You haven't met like people in my family. Like I am like a watered down, like unseasoned version of the women in my family. Okay, if you think I'm loquita, you haven't met my family. Okay, like I am more of the, you know, I'm not as crazy as them. I'm telling you. I am crazy, nonetheless, but not as crazy as them. I was having I've been having like vivid dreams lately. And I had this dream just right now, and it was actually a really good dream, right? But I guess I wasn't meant to see what ends up happening, you know? So, um, so I woke up, right? And I was like, oh, man, like it just felt like so real. Like, I don't know, it just felt real. And I'm like, what the hell? Because, you know, for a long time I was having like some weird, crazy dreams, like you wouldn't even imagine. I'm also eating a Pop Tart. No, I will admit, for a long time, I had dreams. As you're probably really gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but for a long time, I had dreams of people talking shit about me. Like I could hear like what they were saying about me. Um, so for a long time, I because a lot of people were talking shit about me, so I got to see it in my dream. Like I don't know, it's gonna sound crazy, but so that happened for a while. And then when all that was done, then I started having like weird nightmare dreams, you know, and um, and then now lately I've just been having like these really good dreams, you know, like my good dreams used to be mixed in with the bad ones, you know. Mhm. Anyway, so I woke up so hungry, like starving, and I was like, I guess I'll get up and eat. I don't work till later, so um, I'll probably go back to bed after this. I don't have anything to do today before work, so anyway, my grandma. Back to my grandma. She was loquita. My grandma was very loud, and I always say I get my strength from her because a homegirl never let herself, never let anybody buy her, never let her, you know. And that was back, you know, she was a widower and she was a single mom to 11 children. 11 children. The kids were always being taken away from her because the neighbors were always talking, you know, calling like CPS and stuff. And she would always fight to get the kids back. You know, because back in those days, you had to have a husband, you know. She didn't. He died. He literally just died one day in his 30s. And all her kids were from her husband. She had all her kids from her one husband. And so she went through it, you know. And she survived. You know, she was the one that saw that her life needed change and she changed it. And she was able to remarry my grandfather, who I thought was my grandfather. Little did I know that wasn't even my grandfather. Well, I mean, it was my grandfather, but you know what I mean. My My grandfather passed away. He was an alcoholic. So he had cirrhosis of the liver. Um, I believe um, either, I don't know if it turned into cancer or what, but he was in his 30s because alcoholism is a problem in my family, or was. I won't say it is because we don't have anybody that's an alcoholic in our family. We have people that drink. There's a difference between alcoholism and being able to drink, okay? I don't think anybody has a problem because we're all, if we are, we're all functioning. We all go to work, so I don't know, to be honest with you. So, we have such a, you know, like, because when we picture alcoholics, what do we picture? We picture someone who doesn't probably, have anywhere to live. Someone who probably can't go on without drinking. Because I've been around an alcoholic where at the first thing in the morning, they're like, shaking and they have to have a drink for the shakes to go away. I've lived with somebody, it was an elder that was an alcoholic. It's some scary stuff. I'm assuming that's what alcoholism is. I don't know. Excuse me. I'm not a professional. I'm just making an observation, okay? So, anybody like that in our family? No. Not in this generation. Possibly the last generation. Maybe that's a generational curse that we broke. I don't know. Because when I was a drinker, I speak for myself, I've been able to stop like that, just like nothing. Like for a while, like until you acknowledge that there's an issue, and if you can stop it just like that, I don't see that as alcoholism, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so yes, I have used substance to, you know, to cope with things, because I've been through a lot of things, and when I sit and I think about it, I'm like, how did nothing ever happen to me? Like, how did nothing ever happen to me? So many adults knew I was on my own. So many, good morning to you too. That's good. So many, not so many, but there was people that knew I was on my own. They just kind of just left it, like, who knows where her parents are, you know what I mean? So I figure if my grandma can survive the whole hood against her because she had these rowdy ass kids in the neighborhood, she was able to get out of the hood, buy a home, actually buy a home. My grandmother bought her house. I'm telling you, it was a big deal for us. It was a big deal, okay? That's why it was a big deal for me. Like, I didn't think I would ever do that, That's why I say it, because it was like a miracle, So, I figure with my two measly kids, I can survive. You know what I mean? I don't mean measly like they're nothing, but like measly like I only have 2 kids. She had 11. You know what I mean? I can survive anything. Okay? And my grandma, she was loquita. She would drink liquor. The brown liquor. I have a confession here. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, okay? I can't drink the brown liquor. I can't. It just goes in and it comes right out. Don't tell anybody. I'll be very embarrassed if anybody finds out about that. I can only do the white liquor. And the brown liquor makes me cry. My dad used to say, I don't want to hear you cry. I guess I've always been the emotional person when I drink. I don't know. my stepdad would be like, I don't want you crying for Carlos. What the fuck did I ever cry for him? Anyway, but you know, that's what they say, the brown liquor makes you emotional. So anyway, so my grandma would drink Wild Turkey. That's what my older brother, that's his liquor of choice, is Wild Turkey. And he drinks it straight, just straight out the, like my grandma. My grandma she would drink straight liquor. When something would happen to her kids, liquor. The brown juice, straight up. No chaser, no, not mixed with anything. Just Wild Turkey. My granny. So you think I'm loquita? Oh, you have no idea, baby. You have no idea. I mean well. I at least care. Other people in my family don't care. They don't care. They're ruthless. But the good thing about it is whenever like I bring somebody around, which is very rare that I bring anybody around, but anytime I bring anybody around, I do it so, like, not so often that they're like, wow, she's actually bringing somebody around, you know? Like, because that's like a big deal for me. Because everybody knows how I am. You know, a mess. So that's a good thing. Like, I don't bring people around all the time. So it's like, you know, they figure, you know, when I finally bring somebody around, they're like, oh, okay, they have to be good peeps because I know she put them through some shit, you know, to get them here, you know. So anyway, that's the good thing about it. I never had to worry about my family not liking anybody that I brought around. But anyway, so I just want to let you know my grandma was loquita and she was very loud. She was, that her voice would carry. And when I drink, oh my gosh, when I'm drunk, my voice gets louder. Like I already have a loud voice, but it gets like high pitched. Like I don't know what it does. I don't know what I do with my voice, but I feel it. I'm like, oh, like I can feel it straining like in my neck. Like I'm like, what do I say? I usually scream out. You're gonna hear this if you're ever drunk around me. I always say Spring Break 98. It's an inside joke. I can't say what it is here because it involves an ex-party that somebody in our family was with. So it's an inside joke with somebody that's no longer in the family, okay? Not with me. It wasn't my ex. It was somebody else's ex. So I don't want to say... Oh, you know what? I can say what it means. Okay, so we would say... So whenever we're drunk and whenever we're having like a good fucking time, like we're out and we'll say Spring Break 98. Why Spring Break 98? Okay. We say that because it's funny when we're drunk, you know, we're like looking at each other, Spring Break 98. But somebody, I'm not going to say who, somebody in our family was dating somebody or was in a relationship with somebody else who never got drunk. Like he never drank or anything. And this one night we went to a graduation party and he got fucking drunk, and this guy was like 6'2", like he was big, and we couldn't tame him, you know. And so he's like, mind you, this was the year 2000 when this happened. Okay, this is like 2000. No, I didn't have my daughter yet, so this was like, it was like not 98, but I want to say it was like 99. Oh my god, I'm just remembering it. No, you know what? I did have Brittany because my daughter was born 2000. So it was one. It wasn't 98. I know that for sure. I think it was a few years away from 1998. Okay. So he was drinking, right? And so we had to leave this party. And he was hanging out. When we finally got him in the car. And we finally got him in the car, right? And he's like hanging out of the window. He goes, Spring Break. He says Spring Break 98, like proud as shit, you know? And So ever since then, whenever we get drunk and we're having a good time, we'll sing Spring Break 98. Or we'll caption our photos like that. Why he felt the need to scream out Spring Break 98 in the middle of summer of 2000, I have no idea. But this guy was gone. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Anyways, so yeah. So when we drink, that's what we do. We have a lot of inside jokes. But don't give me the brown liquor. Don't give me the brown liquor because I'm gonna be in my emotions. Okay. I will be in my emotions. And I'm I can say it now, like I am not embarrassed. I'm emotional when I drink, okay? I'm only human. Anyways, so I'll let y'all go. I'm gonna go lay back down and go back to sleep. Don't forget Spring Break 98. Bye.